A dreamer at a spin fire, the NFT analyzer, diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer, from mint coins to tokens. He's got all the intel. Web3 wizardry, he'll show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in the know. Crypto community, vibing where the treasures flow. Web3 wonders, chain reactors on the scene.
Good morning, guys. Mega GMs. Welcome to the Swarm Report. Friday edition, dude. You know, I'm a little biased, but the best edition, the greatest edition. Hey, we had Musty on the spaces for a quick second. He requested to come up, and now he's gone. Come on, man. Come back, Musty.
Come back.
Come back, brother. Yeah, community show, guys. It's your show. You come up and chat throughout the show, which going to get kind of interesting, too, like when people request. The past couple weeks, people haven't really come up, which is okay. But when that happens, right, we're just in show groove. We're just like hitting our topics and, you know, we're doing our thing. With the community up, the show goes wherever it's going to go. No control over it. So if we get people up and chatting, you know, all bets are off in a good way. Luna, good morning. Good to see you, man. Guys, we're live. You know, all the usual places, one bonus spot today, but we're live on Abstract. We're live on X. We're live on YouTube. We're also, again, live on Twitter Spaces. So if you do want to come chat, come over to Twitter, find my account there. And request to come on up, but come over to YouTube, CryptoSlam on YouTube. Subscribe over here, guys. Got a lot we're cooking up here. Goon, good to see you over on Spaces too. Reignite GMs, special Friday guest co-host. We've been doing this over a month now, haven't we, man? I think. But Cat's Fanatic, you know the man. You know the man. Hang on, let's give Cat some love on this.
Yo, GM, everyone. It's gonna be a fun one today. We got a lot going on.
Dude, there's a lot. This might get a little awkward with Goon here even too, but yeah, we have a lot to talk about. Okay, prediction.
Oh, come on, we love it. The drama's fun.
Spicy stuff out there, yeah, man. But guys, prediction markets. Of course, the Friday show powered by Predict Base. So we're going to dive into prediction markets today. What's going on, kind of all around, but also on Predict Base. I love seeing it, dude. We've got the founder of Polymarket becoming the youngest billionaire, self-made billionaire, which incredible story. Crypto Twitter free agents finding these homes on prediction market platforms. Awesome. Let's see who's going where. Virtuals Unicorns live. So checking into the token launches and how they're going and what's working, what's not. And there is some like interesting stuff, Cats, I saw it over in Nick's Discord this morning. A little something about, you know, where tokens maybe are not tradable within the first 24 hours. Weird.
Yeah, I still don't understand that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
And I also saw prototype agents. You can't trade them, although I think everything empty said it's fixed. We'll get into that too. Strategy tokens over on the NFT, you know, fungible token side. But there's also in the world of virtuals a little drama out there. Okay, Goon stepped out. It's good. Now I can say it. But I don't know if you guys saw, but Big Will and Darren are kind of beefing on the timeline. It's interesting. It's kind of spicy. I got some thoughts, and we'll try to I don't know. I'm not trying to make enemies here ever, but, you know, we'll share some thoughts. We'll do that. So we do have a lot to talk about. Anyway, follow Cat's Fanatic here. You can follow me at Hudah_idiot. Really important, though, guys, I always tell you to go follow our main accounts, right? The Swarm_AI, and you already know CryptoSlam you're probably following. But I keep saying follow SlamAI_XYZ. Especially right now, I got to say follow them because I think some of these accounts are going to get a little bit of a rebrand. I'm pretty sure this show is not going to stream on the Swarm account here starting maybe next week. It might stream on the SlamAI account. It might stream back on the CryptoSlam one. I'm not exactly sure yet. Just got to find what makes sense. You're going to see some changes. You'll see the Swarm account doing something a little different too. You'll like it, I think. But yeah, stay tuned. A lot of things coming, including I can probably say we have an announcement coming next week, and it's just the start of announcements. But there's a lot coming. Follow it all just so you can stay plugged in. Let's get to the show, though. If I didn't say already, though, like the show, share the show, do that thing. It really, really does help. I want to hit some bigger topics here. I don't think we go in depth with any of this stuff. I'd rather spend the time on predict base and then on virtuals and whatnot. But like I said, huge investment into, I mean, all over the prediction market world, right? I was going to call it a meta, and I keep catching myself. It's not like a meta. It's so huge. Can we call it a macro, dude? Like, what's the right way to call it? It's too big.
I'm calling it an industry disruptor.
There you go. That's perfect. That's it. That's actually perfect. It is that big. And so this week we had an announcement. Actually, we had Polymarket on the New York Stock Exchange, like their banner hung up there, like just incredible. Where you see some of these, products that we now think of as crypto products, even though they didn't start that way. I don't think Polymarket started as crypto. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's awesome seeing them get that kind of exposure, and they're growing that big. They also got a $2 billion investment from ICE. Not the ICE you may be thinking of. It's the parent company, the New York Stock Exchange. $2 billion. And that's what put Shane Copland as the youngest self-made billionaire here. 27 years old, worth $1 billion is crazy. It's just weird, cats. Like the people you rub elbows with in this space, you just never know. You got guys out here who are changing the world. And so, like, I saw Coldy tweet out earlier this week. He's like, I remember bidding with against Shane on, I don't know, crypto art, like 4 or 5 years back. And it's just, we got some big brains here, dude. Really smart people, and like just people with that next level drive and crazy stuff. But crazy billionaire, youngest ever. Pretty cool to see, right? And probably not the last, right? We're probably gonna see somebody beat that within the next few years. Get used to those stories.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, look, kids grow up online, on phones, on technology now. So like you're saying, I mean, we're going to have younger and younger billionaires.
We're going to, well, you know, what's funny? We talked about this like a year ago. So we'll see younger and younger billionaires, and we're going to see weird billionaires. We're going to see AI agent billionaires. Like it's just, the world is changing, and it's changing really, really fast. And like, that's a sign. That's one of those signs right there. But more big money's coming too, man. Like, you're so plugged in with it. But like, and I would assume everybody watching gets this. Prediction markets are going to just eat everything. And you see Citadel's also looking to get into prediction markets. How and what that looks like, don't know. But I assume there's money coming. I assume we're going to see just tons of new platforms and money going to existing platforms. It's going to get really competitive. It's also a big reason why I like predict base so much, and I like to be able to bet on somebody, one of the newcomers who's got that upside. But a cool thing happening right now, I love this, because talk about rubbing elbows with people. There's a lot of people we've kind of come up in the space with, at least gotten to know over the years, who are becoming, I don't know, official, getting sponsored by these platforms or working for these platforms. And we're starting to see some of the big crypto Twitter personalities align with specific platforms. So we saw ICO Beast get hired by Kalshi. He's president of something. I can't remember his role. Big role, big influential, big important role. And he's great. So you got him going to Kalshi. You've got Easy. Freaking love Easy. He's one of the best out there, going to Polymarket. Now, not on the team, but I think like sponsored by, ambassador, but like I think probably a pretty important one of the most important you could get. So Easy's on his way somewhere. Who else do we have? We had Whale. Yeah, Whale.swoosh or Mocha, whatever he goes by now. Also with Polymarket. And then we saw Star Platinum. Do you remember, did he go Kalshi or did he go Predict Base? I'm sorry, Kalshi or Polymarket?
That one says Kalshi.
Oh, it's on the screen. Hang on. Oh, Kalshi. Yeah, there we go. He went to Kalshi. Is it Kalshi or Kalshi, dude? I say Kalshi like Kasha. I don't know.
I've heard it said both ways.
All right, I'll stick to Kalshi. And then you even had Tolly, from Solana, saying like, dude, none of these matter. Like, who's gonna sign me, dude? And Limitless tweeted out. Limitless tweeted that they're like, hey, bro, hit us up. You don't know who's going where, and it's like I said, prediction markets and content belong together, and written content is content. It is. It doesn't have to be video, but they belong together. You're going to see more and more of that, and congrats to these guys. Real quick comment, not going to spend long on this, but in this tweet from Shane announcing the $2 billion investment, he made a really interesting comment here, and it ties to some news that dropped this morning, but he called this prediction markets going mainstream a monumental step for DeFi. I thought that was pretty interesting, because it is, if you think about it. But also saw a tweet this morning coming from Brian Armstrong from Coinbase. We assume that legislations are going to go our way, like it's crypto's time. We're all good. Like I've kind of gotten too comfortable thinking we're all set, and we're not. And it looks like Democrats are pushing back on some things that maybe we had assumed were already a given, like we're all good here, and maybe you're not. They're pushing back on DeFi, and they're pushing back against these decentralized wallets. They don't want those to be legal, either of them. Again, DeFi platforms or wallets, which is absolutely crazy. So just have to put that out there. The fight's not over. It's not. And the impact of it, if Shane's calling it a win for DeFi, prediction markets growing like they are, then this hurts prediction markets if they get their way. So I don't know. We'll stay updated on those kind of stories on other streams, other channels. But I just had to make sure people are seeing that the fight ain't done. It's a real bummer, but there we are. What do you say we get into a little predict base, cats?
Absolutely.
Let's cook.
Set it, forget it, predict it, I'll bet it, predict base, conviction is giving a bet it all right now.
Dude, cool week on the platform. I had some fun on predict base this week. I think I've launched 2 prediction markets. They're not doing well, like volume wise. It's because I make stupid markets. I'll show them in a minute. Like I do things that are interesting to me or that I think matter a little bit. But it's like you got to play for the audience that's on the platform right now. And my markets are not like the users on Predict Base do not give a shit about the markets I'm putting up right now. I'll show those in a minute. But like, dude, people are making money there and are using the platform. And I love seeing people win. So Predict Base highlighting a couple people, one person in particular who earned almost $1,000 creating 19 markets. And then good old Goon put out even more. Like there's 2 guys actually who are just eating in the past, week or so, just making markets. $28 somebody spent to get to almost 500. Somebody else spent $19 to get to that almost 1,000. Just launch the markets. You get rewards for making them. But as people trade them or buy the whatever side, what do you earn? Is it 1% of the volume?
Yeah, 1%.
I mean, hard to beat it. And then add onto that the wins that come along the way, and hopefully you're winning on them and finding your edge there. And it's cool seeing more content around these things, and it is getting easier and easier to get your edge there. Just research and you really can win on these things. There's been we'll show some of these markets that have come up recently, but there's been some big wins out there. Talk a lot about the token though, the Predi token, and that's one of those big opportunities I see in prediction markets. Bet on the platform token, right? Sharing the attention. They do their buybacks. Predi cooked this week, man. Predi's looking really great right now. A big part of that move is just the prediction market hype, but also they had some news this week and something we've been waiting on for a while, which is live odds. Not live yet, by the way. They're not live yet, but they've finished their live odds contract. So we know it's coming. It's a matter of when. To that, I did launch a market that we know the answer to, but I figure why not just put it out there, let people gamble away. But I put a market on Polymarket. Does live odds go live? I think I put it by next Friday. It's just a yes, no. You probably want to bet no. Wait, Cats, if you were betting on it, I'll pull it up. If you're betting, what are you betting?
So your date was October 18th. Was that right?
I think that's it. Yeah. Yep.
I would say that's a good over under date. So I'm not sure which way to go.
Okay. So I put money on both sides. So what? So there's you win if you get it right. There's at least something there. We need to poke that team and go get our little insider info and find a way to make that trade work in our favor. But just pay attention to comms, right? Pay attention to them on X. I should pull up their account, but pay attention to them on X, pay attention in their Discord, whatever. I think they'll hint about it ahead of time. I think you'll know when it's coming live. And so if you want to make some honestly easy free money, who knows how much, but the market's there for you to bet on, which is awesome. But that's why the token's moving right now. And the token looks pretty awesome, dude.
I do have more information that I can share regarding all this if you want.
Definitely should.
So, because I need people to understand what that means, right? So it's not that the entire site will be going live odds. We had that question last week. Essentially, anything that has been launched up until then will remain like the legacy side, like it is now. because they can't just like convert all those other created markets to live odds. And it doesn't mean that every single market created will have live odds yet, because they have to. I mean, this is, we've talked about how much, this is cool being part of the building process. Again, this is a couple months old. Kalshi's been around for, I think, 6 years at this point. Like Polymarket's been years and years. Myriad's been around a few years. All these have been building all this out. And I like to compare, if people, again, I'm telling you, go get your hands dirty with all the different prediction markets, learn them. So like the big three right now, I don't consider Limitless one of the big three just because I don't put it in the same class. It's different. You can't go bet on political stuff and mention markets and sports and all the stuff. I mean, Limitless it has its place and it's really cool and it's a very DJing thing. And I like the 1 hour markets, but it is price driven on crypto and stocks. It's not like these others. So if you go to Myriad market, that's closer to what is coming with Predict Base first. Okay, Myriad doesn't have an order book yet. So if you go and look at the live odds on Myriad, that's more what it's going to be like in this building phase, right? And so initially, not all the markets will have live odds. They'll be more curated. We'll get volume there. But again, all this is going to lead to more volume. So when you're talking about Predi specifically, more volume, and especially with ACP integration coming, where, I mean, people need to realize Virtuals is going all in on the Butler. They are incentivizing all these token drops to Butler users. 3% of all these token drops are going to Butler users. And a really cool use case coming up is going to be PrediBot. And so if people are then using PrediBot, that's more revenue. 25% of that revenue goes to buy back and burn the Predi token. We keep telling you people this. Like everyone, we're trying to shout it from the rooftop, right? Like this is pretty obvious. But yeah, I just wanted to like kind of explain what's coming with the live odds. Because, if you haven't played around, it's not going to be like fully built out from the start, right? Like it doesn't just like flip a switch and everything's like Polymarket or Kalshi. It doesn't work like that. But it's a huge first step. And then as there's more liquidity, all of it gets built out more and it just keeps ramping up from there. Does that make sense?
It does. I can't wait to see the extra volume it does bring, because that to me has been the missing ingredient. Like I'm having fun putting markets up and betting, but it's like, we've talked about it. It's the live odds that it keeps you trading every day, keeps you trading throughout the day. Whereas I'm making a bet and I'm waiting a week for it to resolve, or maybe a month. And some of them I bet are months away, if not, further. So,
and that'll be the interesting part to me is, okay, which way do we go? Do we go where you do a longer market so it can fluctuate based on news or whatever? Or do we go more like Limitless and say, hey, let's put live odds on a market that lasts an hour or, 12 hours or whatever? It'll be interesting seeing how that works out and how that evolves.
So, dude, yeah, no, I spot on. So I saw this market up there. Will Predi hit a new all-time high by October 31st, at end of the month? And that's before, at least where my bet is as far as live odds. I ran some numbers, man. We're at a 5.6 mil market cap. Crunched some numbers this morning. Okay, I'm not a numbers guy, but as best as I could and using AI to help, it would take right now to push this to all-time high. $100,000, right? If you had $100,000 buy and nobody's selling, right, pushes this to all-time high. It's not a ton, dude. It's not a ton that it's going to take to push it there. I don't know. I'm watching and feeling out the market and seeing how people are going to.
I hear, and I don't have access to AIXPT terminal because I'm not that kind of. Not that kind of massive bag holder, but I hear that he's been talking about Predi quite a bit too.
You put him on to him. You put him on to Predict Base.
I mean, that's fair, but I'm just saying to his actual, terminal users, like Predi's been on his radar too. So,
dude, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, 100,000 is nothing. Again, any kind of selling also, kind of affects that too. But the point there was it doesn't take much to go from, you guys see where everybody here trades, to go from 5.5 mil to 10 is nothing. You can go from nothing to 200 mil in a day. I mean, we see that when things are crazy. So I don't think that's a crazy bet. I would be watching that pretty damn closely. Keep your eyes on it. Checking out our SlamVision Explorers here, and I like to check in with Predict Base and see how's the platform doing user base wise. 10 days into the month here, 147 active wallets. We're on pace actually for another record-breaking month. If we keep this pace up, we'll just beat last month, which I think is awesome. Just if we can sustain growth on Predict Base, awesome. That's what anybody's looking for. I actually wasn't expecting it. It was just so hot last month. I was expecting it to kind of settle down, maybe pull back. We're on pace for another all-time high for active wallets. Returning wallets looking great. Across the board, new wallets, maybe we don't touch where we touched last month. Live odds will change that. I believe live odds will change that.
I was going to say, I say we break it. I mean, we got essentially 3 weeks left in this month. If we get live odds within the next week and a half, 2 weeks, we break it.
Do you think we break across the board, like all those stats again? Active, new,
probably.
Returning, just all transactions. I think we'll see absolutely murder the previous all-time high.
Absolutely.
Right? I can't wait. Yeah, it should be awesome. Any markets up there that have caught your eyes?
Not specifically. I'm watching that Pretty one. Specifically, you know, people have to just pay attention. Again, I tell you right now, like everybody, if you're using Predict Base, just go to ending soon. Like that's where the play is right now. Even for Hudah's market, like I'm gonna watch it at the end and go in on it one way or the other because we're probably gonna know. But live odds makes such a big difference, and then that's when everything changes.
Yep. There's another market I launched. This one ends either midnight tonight or very early tomorrow morning. Again, just trying to do something that's like mainstream topic. This is where I'm talking about. I'm launching markets that don't really fit the audience here. I don't know if people play them or not. Or this is a perfect one to wait till the last minute for, right? So Taylor Swift new album. I made a market not for which is going to be her most streamed song because that's her first single. It's too easy, right? So what's the second most streamed song? And look, the info's out there. You can go on Spotify and see the number of streams. I don't know if you can do it on Apple Music too. I'm not sure, but you could probably go by what's, number 2 on Spotify. That probably carries over to Apple Music. And so this is another one where there's probably free money if you do it right before the end. And I'm going to throw a little more money at it too, because why not, right? Farm the platform that way, right? Just get used to the platform and earn a few bucks. It depends on how much volume it gets. Maybe earn more, but yeah.
What are the odds on Wood right now? Because I don't listen to Taylor Swift, but that's been all the talk.
Dude, it has been. I think streaming wise, it hasn't. People don't like the song, so it's not doing well, like as far as number of streams. But dude, well, let me see if we can check. Hang on. Let me check. I think the number 2 is, I think it's Father Figure. I'm going to peek here.
I don't have any idea. I haven't listened to any of it, but just hearing even Jason Kelsey and Travis talking about that song's hilarious.
I actually like the album. I actually like it. And it's getting a lot of shit. Hang on, let me share the screen. Again, there's so many markets out there that it's free. Like the info's out there for you. Like you just can, it's kind of crazy, dude. Hang on, let me share. Let's do, I think this. Yeah. Okay, the number 2 song is Opalite, I think. Yeah, I think it sorts this by streams. Okay, so that's going to be your number 2, and it looks like it's pulled pretty far ahead. So I think I initially bet on Elizabeth Taylor. I went and I just copied basically what the odds were showing me on Polymarket. And you can do that. There's just free money all over the platform. So I just did that. But yeah, in the past few days, this has flipped it. So Opalite's probably going to win. And you'll literally win money. Like there's bets that are put on other songs already right now. So again, if it's a couple cents, if it's a couple bucks, if it gets more volume, maybe more. So there it is. Hang on. I want to double check. Let's see. There's Opalite. Yeah, okay. So I bet 10 on that one. I'm going to throw some money on another just so there's, again, money for people to win. I don't give a shit, right? Like, why not? That's probably your number 2. Just double check it and watch for the time when it's going to end. So it's basically midnight tonight. Just go watch, get your bet in last minute and free money and again, farm. So There we are. Cats, anything else on the predict base side that you're looking at? Any wins you've seen out there? Anything else you want people to know?
No, we've covered it pretty well so far. Like I said, everything's kind of gearing up for live odds, and then I think we're gonna have a lot more to cover.
Man, it's gonna be sweet. Now, outside of predict base, I want to show you some numbers because the market's looking just incredible, just all over the place. But also, just got to show the wins that are out there and why prediction markets are so fucking cool, man. Like, they're so cool. All right. So we had the Nobel Peace Prize winner announced this morning. And of course, there's a market for it. And people won big money. I can't wait to see people starting to post their wins. So you had, what is this? Or who is this? Maria Cortina Machado won the Nobel Peace Prize. Interesting thing happened last night where kind of out of nowhere, somebody or a few people were buying up a ton of shares, a ton of her shares. And people weren't sure. I saw Easy watching. He's like, this is either somebody just kind of like spray and pray, or it's somebody with insider info. And we're seeing that a lot of insider info. And so you get results way before it's ever public. And it's exactly what happened here. This is somebody with insider info who 12 hours earlier went and bought up all these shares, is making a bunch of money. And if you just kind of watch for that stuff and you can kind of copy trade, you can make really easy money. And it's not like, it's not little money. In the big markets, it's big money. And then we saw similar, I don't want to say there was any insider trading on this one, but we saw people make big money on the Gaza peace deal, which pretty damn cool. Awesome to see a peace deal happen if it really happens. But you get these big world events that people are trading and making money off of and speculating on, and yeah, insider info. But if nothing else, guys, if you're not betting on the platforms or the tokens or whatever, you should be checking prediction market sites for news. Go to them, go to flip over to trending, or even just new, and just see what's out there. You'll get breaking news. Actually, we used to say go to Pump Fun, and you'll find breaking news there because you'll see like tickers about a topic, right? Go to prediction markets. You'll see breaking news there before you'll ever see it on whatever your favorite news site is. So many ways to play or use them. Onto the numbers here. I mean, just the size of the bets continuing to go up. I think we're looking at notional volume here. It's at not an all-time high, but this is going back a week, right? Data's a week behind, but the third highest we've ever seen across prediction markets, which awesome. Hey, Nikos is here too. Good to see you, buddy. Third highest. A couple other things stood out to me. Hang on, let me find sports volume did hit an all-time high. And this is something, Cass has been talking about a lot too. It's going to just eat up all these sports betting platforms, and you can see it in the numbers. So volume there also cooking all-time high. There was another breakdown on sports bets versus any others, and it's like 80-90% of all the prediction market money is on sports. Let me see if I can find that. When I resize my screen, it gets a little hard.
That's, NFL is a big reason for that. But I mean, NBA just started, NHL just started. Like, we are coming into peak sports season, and it's only going to just exponentially grow. And now, I mean, again, the Polymarket US is launching right now, anytime now because of that, right? They need the sports volume. If you go on these sites, like Kalshi is killing them on sports betting volume, right? So that's why, the Polymarket US thing, they're trying to push that as quick as they can. Myriad, again, if you go, like, I compare all these sites, right? I go on all of them, and I'm using all this stuff and learning order books and learning this stuff, and I'm getting wins, and it's fun. But like, it is obvious where the money is right now, and that's where everybody should be going. That's why it's interesting with Predict Base as we get live odds. Like, I would be willing to bet the majority of those live odds will be sports betting, because that's where everybody makes money right now.
Yeah, dude, it makes so
or
much
has fun
sense.
with. Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's where you see kind of the, the money in these markets here too. And sports is in orange. So sports, this is, I guess it would be about 2 weeks ago, whatever. But you see 877 mil. And the next closest category is crypto, and it's at 27 mil. So not even close. I almost feel like it should be more than that too. I'm wondering. No, maybe that's right. About $1 billion a week across these markets right now. No, maybe that makes sense. But yeah, it's not even close. Yeah, sports just dominating it all. And then here's just market transactions all-time high. So it just keeps going up and up. And It's kind of like how I think of Bitcoin in the future. We look at the chart now and it looks crazy and it's awesome. I'm like, it's gonna look like a little blip compared to where it's going. And I think the same with prediction market volume here. It's gonna get really silly. So looking good all around here. Limitless did what here? Dude, half 500 million trading volume. Am I reading that right? Yeah, wow, almost 500 mil. It's getting pretty crazy. We saw the Limitless. I can't remember if we covered this last. Maybe not. The Limitless token pre-sale on Cato, 201 mil or so they brought in. I mean, just ridiculous things. And then look, we talked about this probably earlier in the week on a stream, but I did want to give people a heads up. Myriad. I like Myriad. Pretty damn cool. They got a token coming. I've been a Rug Radio NFT and Rug token holder for years and years and years, right? This is like OG-ish NFT stuff. Depreciating their old token, their Rug token is going to equal Myriad. So they're going to do some kind of airdrop or claim or whatever. And the word is it's 1-to-1. Even if token supply is bigger on Myriad, your one Rug token might be worth 25 Myriad, whatever that works out to be. So just a heads up, if you were a Rug token holder, Rug Radio NFT holder, you're going to get Myriad tokens, which is pretty damn awesome. Polymarket token, it is coming, right? They've been hinting at it. They've been saying, I mean, one of them tweeted out, like, I think a screenshot, maybe it was even a Cato screenshot, and they, something like, where do you think Poly will be here? I mean, they're telling you the Polymarket token's coming, but thought it was kind of interesting, cats. Somebody put out stats on prediction market traders and how many, like, what percentage of them are in the profits, like winning. It's not much. Dude, I don't get that because I think prediction markets feel easy, but
no, people do not know how to trade these. There's such an edge right now. I'm telling you, and I'm learning it, and it's awesome.
What is it? 1%? No, hang on. 1,000 profit puts you in the top 0.5%. That's bonkers. Yeah, people, I mean, guys, you have an edge if you go and put time in. If you put a week or two of trading in, you will have an edge and you'll be winning on these things. I don't know what people are doing, just throwing money in. They're probably doing what I'm doing.
Now, I'm going to tell you. Okay. So on sports markets, that's where all the money is, right? On a sports market, I'm going to tell you what I did last night. It's the same thing I did with the Reds in game 2. So you put an order bid in. So again, the order book matters. If you want to go against normies and win, this is what you do. So last night, the Giants and Eagles are playing in the Thursday night football game, right? At the time I looked yesterday, a no bid for the Eagles, so that means like a yes bid for the Giants, was 22 cents. The 21 cent had almost $1 million in it, and there was a huge wall, almost like $1.5 million in volume at the 20 cent bid mark. So I just put in a bid for 20 cents. It hit 2 minutes before the game started. And the reason is, and this is on Kalshi, but the reason is everybody who uses Robinhood can only bet yes. So people are betting it down, like they're taking the other yes side on the Giants. So I'm taking the Philadelphia no, because it's a good price. So I get filled at 20 cents. As soon as my order gets filled, I get a notification. I immediately go and put a sell order in. So I don't even have to watch the game. Like people, the reason people lose money is because they put, first of all, they buy whatever's live. You get a fee on that. And again, that's going to happen with Predict Base. It happens with Myriad. Like that's how the platform makes money, is the fees on live trading. All right. If you do it in an order book, you don't get the fee. All right. So I actually got it at 20 cents. I immediately put a sell order in at 49 cents, meaning if the Giants just come and make the game competitive, get the lead, it's essentially going to go to at least 50-50 odds. I'm out at a 2.5x. That happened in the first quarter. Now, in the reality, in this case, unlike the Reds case that I talked about before, the Giants ended up winning the game. So I could have made, had I just left it alone, I could have made a 5x, right? I'm cool with that. I'll take a 2.5x every single day and just keep building. Because what many people do is they like just see it as placing a bet and they let the game results happen. Prediction markets where you win is not letting the result happen. Like, you're playing off people's emotions. You're playing off the live action of the game. So, like, don't get involved in that. Just play the odds. And that's where the edge is. People play with emotion. They're just betting, and you can lose big on that. And people go for home runs, right? Like, I don't need a 5x. I'm cool with 2.5, right? So that's where people lose money, is they're playing it out.
Dude, it's funny because it's almost like playing like a meme coin and trying to time the top or something. It's like, you've got to win there. You've got your 4x or what. Like,
Exactly.
we're almost always in profit at some point.
Don't get greedy.
Whatever. Just take it, like, lock your profits in, man.
Now, that
That's
being
cool,
said,
dude.
I don't do that with everything, because I've adjusted my auto betting with Billy. So if you're not using the Billy terminal, I'm going to talk about it for just a sec. So I helped get some adjustments in the Discord, and my past 5 auto bets have all hit. Now, that's not going to last. Like, you can't just stay 100%. But I'm cheering for Southern Miss last night. I'm like, I don't even know anything about Southern Miss. I'm sweating over Tulane because I'm in on Tulane and they go down to Eastern Carolina. I'm like, oh, come on. Because, again, Billy got that bet for me based off of his, prediction. And that bet's playing out based on the way I've got the auto bet set. Just on what percentage profit, because I've got it set for 80% profit on there. But it hit again. Tulane won. So that's more dangerous, because essentially once I'm in those bets, like, it's got to win. But when I'm playing on those order bids, I just set it as soon as it fills. I set a sell order and I'm out. Different ways of playing.
You guys should, like, if the prediction markets and like trading them is interesting, get in the official Discords, because they're not big. Well, probably I don't know if Polymarket even has one. I don't know, but I at least can speak on Billy Bets and Predict Base. They're small and the teams are active and help you and give you like that inside scoop in the alpha. So get your asses in there. Like, really, it does help. You'll level up your game like instantly. Dude, back to the Robinhood and where they only offer the yes on these markets. Why don't they offer the no?
I mean, again, that's a super normie platform, right? So essentially, what you're doing is betting on who's going to win, right? But they're not seeing it as taking no sides. They're just betting on who's going to win.
So it's just to make it easier for people.
Right. But when they do that, what you're doing is taking a yes position, and it's binary. Like, prediction markets are binary. So for every yes position at 79 cents, there has to be a no position filled at 21 cents. That has to take the opposite side too. So
yep, dude, really, really interesting. Couple other quick points. Just a couple other quick things on prediction markets. Kat's mentioned before, but Polymarket US is going to be live at any moment. Like, any moment, you can go to polymarket.us and sign up, get on the wait list. Basically, you just put in your phone number, you're in queue, and they tell you, like, if you retweet it, you bump your position up. You maybe get access faster, but it's going to be a monster platform. It'll be different, but it'll be you want to get on board, especially if you like trading this stuff. And then lastly, buzzing, that we all remember from early Genesis. It's a prediction market, agentic platform live, at least on testnet on, what is it, Fluent? Is that the chain? I can't remember. They were on a different chain. I remember it was I don't remember, but anyway, they're live, and I just can't wait to see the prediction market stuff just cooking in the virtuals ecosystem and in ACP. And it's one of the, I think, few things I think will actually work in ACP. I can absolutely see agents betting and making money if they're earning some rev, whatever it is. Like I say on Predict Base, if throwing a buck makes
we've already
sense.
proven it.
We proved it. Cat's got AXPT to bet and Grok.
And Grok. We've got Grok and AXPT going against each other.
And so why wouldn't they, if they have an edge, because they got an edge in info on basically everything, why wouldn't they try to grow their own bags? That's their incentive, right? I think we'll see that. That might be maybe the most profitable cluster in virtuals ACP is the prediction market cluster. So watching for that. Really, really cool. Anyway, there's our prediction market talk. Go follow Predict Base. Appreciate those guys sponsoring the show. I think the platform's incredible. Keep an eye on the Predi token. Again, we called the bottom of it a few weeks back at 2.2 mil or so. It's over 2x at this point. And I'm telling you now, at 5.5 mil or so, It's an interesting spot. I'll just say that. I do think with live odds coming, I have troubles not seeing this over 10, 15, something like that in like relatively short term, whatever, not financial advice, just giving you my gut feels. So there we go. How about a little AI talk, dude? It's weird that I don't like that
Let's
AI is
do
taking
it.
a back seat, but it kind of has, and maybe rightfully so. I will say this: a lot of my entire crypto thesis, and that's fungible tokens. It's it's Bitcoin, it's NFTs especially, but it revolves around AI. It's the whole idea that AI changes the world. I say it all the fucking time. It changes the world. It's going to replace jobs, or like now I bounce back and forth. I'm not settled. Does it replace jobs, or does it lead to more productive jobs? And you keep your job, you're just better at it, and there's just more money going around because we're so much more productive as a society. And I lean more that way. I really do. I actually think. I don't know if we get the job losses like I was thinking. Some stuff's going away. Anyway, I was just thinking about it this morning. Matt Walsh had put out a tweet talking about AI going to wipe out all these careers and jobs, and it's so destructive and whatever. And then it just reminded me of an article I saw earlier in the week that was like, what if it's just like a middle ground? What if it's more like AI is so productive, it still needs you, but what if you have a 3-day work week because AI is now kind of putting a lot of what you do on autopilot and you're making the same amount of money because you're as productive, but you don't have to work as much. I'm like, that I like. I can get with that. Again, it's a nice mixing of those two ideas. So shorter work weeks, not less productive, actually more productive. And then that does feed into my thesis of money's going to get interesting. We're probably going to have a lot more of it. And probably people like in the COVID days when you got a stimmy, spent a lot more of it too. And you probably go spend it on silly things. So I'm keeping my eyes. I'm watching that stuff. It's going to get interesting over the next few years. Okay. Virtuals, Unicorn officially live as of this week. I like it, dude. Okay, I'll say this. I don't think there's anything crazy exciting on the platform yet, but just a big update like Unicorn. It's pretty damn cool, and I think there's a ton of potential there. We've seen a few launches this week. I don't know. Nothing's wowing me yet, Cats. How are you feeling about what we've seen on Unicorn so far, which I think is like 3 or 4 launches?
Man, I'm still trying to wrap my head around how to play this, honestly. But we've got some interesting stuff coming. So, you want to go ahead and talk about AIX Bet, or you want to wait a minute?
Yeah. Well, I'll hit Hive Fury first because it's the only one I think deserves any attention. The rest are just meme coins and anons and nothing I think that I think matters. Hive Fury I thought was interesting, still do. There was a little controversy there because this team actually put out another token earlier this year actually Prototype, I think, right? I think it was Prototype. Slayer AI, something like that. And there was like, I don't want to say pushback, but people are like, well, you launched a token, sound very similar. And you're launching a brand new one. I had him on the show yesterday. I like the dude and I like the product. It kind of won me over, and I could understand anybody who, if they felt burned on another token and his response to that was like, look, that wasn't the final iteration. It was an experiment. You have to be able to move on to your next product or the one that's going to work. You can't just keep spinning your wheels on the old one. There's something to that. And I might still question, well, why don't you build out the other with that existing token? I don't know. All I can tell you is token's actually doing pretty damn well. You probably had some nice, easy wins in this token, and the product I do think's got some potential. So security tool, browser extension, sounds like they got some partners cooking up too. So I like a lot about it. It's sitting at 1.67 mil FDV, cross 2 mil. So they actually unlock some funding. After you hit 2 mil FDV, you unlock some team funding. So a few $1,000. I don't know what the number is, but this is our first, I would say, successful Unicorn launch. And not bad.
And remember on that chart, that 25% that goes towards buying, I think it's like 5% of the time. That's over a 24-hour period, or maybe it's the taxes over the 24. The essentially the virtuals team is buying for that first 24 hours. So it's also interesting game theory on where to buy and when to look at it. Maybe buying dips before the virtuals team buys dips. I mean, you can see those dips and buys, right? So it's, I don't know. Again, still working out the game theory.
Yeah, that's a really important comment there, Cats, too. A lot of people feel like you have to understand it. You have to have an opinion on it, like right away.
I don't have to have an opinion on it. I'm just still trying to wrap my head around it.
That's it. That's the point.
To me, it's more interesting. Okay, go to the tokenomics of Hive Fury. This is something that people aren't paying as much attention to, is the initial buy. So even if just scroll up to the liquidity pool. So there was 28.74% available for people to buy because of what the initial team buys were. Because again, that's on top of the 50%. The team can come in, essentially have the first buy of the token, and they get to set that. I want to compare that to AIX Bet. Have you looked at this yet?
No, let's pull it up.
Yeah. It's
Because
worth
I see
pulling
you
up.
requesting, I'll get you up here shortly.
So
Did they
AIX
launch
Bet,
yet? AIX Bet?
no, it's soon. It's in a couple hours.
Okay.
Right there. You got it. 9%. I'm going to go ahead and tease it. They've bought up the majority of this supply. Now, with a 9% float, that token price is likely going to get higher. I mean, it's going to come out higher. So it's just one of those things, like it's worth watching those initial team buys because that matters on the initial float. It's just like when prototypes, when like Ring came out and when FYI came out, those teams bought up over 90% of that supply so that they could have the tokens to do what they needed to do with them, but it created a much higher FDV starting out. I feel like that's about to happen with AIX Bet, right?
Yeah, nice. And that leans into prediction markets too. Are you going to play this one?
I'm gonna play with this one. As far as the products, I honestly, yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but whatever. Like Sire does this better. And I'm not in Sire. I kind of wish I was. I really looked into it because of this, but with those vaults, like the Alpha Vault on Sire is much higher. And so I think they actually do this better potentially. But it's worth looking at. Like, of course, I'm testing out every prediction market and trying out. And this is not a prediction market specifically. It's more like sports betting alpha that you can put into a vault. And they follow smart money on Polymarket. A thing that I don't specifically like is they can't integrate Kalshi yet because they're not US based. And again, all the sports betting market volume is on Kalshi, but it's still an interesting product. And as far as the token, it's more interesting to me just because of that 9% float in this mechanic. So I do want to get my feet wet with it.
Dude, I like it. Yeah. I want to start playing these, man. I haven't put any money into unicorn launches yet. ATM, AIX Bet now sounds like just playing the game. Probably a fun thing to play at least. I like the gamification of it now, right? It's like the strategy tokens. I like the tax, 99% tax going down, about 1% a minute. It's fun. There's ways to win on this stuff. We'll get to strategy tokens here in a minute too, but I like making an event around each token launch. So all around, I think I like unicorn. We just got to get the teams here to make the wins big. You get big wins out there, and the structure's there, right? People are winning. Alazar earlier this week on Unicorn Meme hit like a 6 or 7x, right? You can start seeing that on bigger tokens, bigger names, things that can get some mind share out on X. You will get users over here again. You will. People will be flexing those wins. ATM looks really interesting. Maybe
Sorry, can I just add something to that point real quick too?
Yeah.
If you get big teams over here and you're getting 20 mil FDV tokens and people are talking about 10, 20 X's again, then we can market this Butler use because 3% of all those tokens got airdropped to ecosystem participants. And that's where, again, like PrettyBot is going to benefit. Like those tokens that have Butler use, already built in, all those projects are going to get lifted by that. So, I've seen some stuff where like, oh, the OG projects are going to get left out, whatever. I mean, if they have a working product that they're implementing in Butler, that's where the virtual team is essentially helping, because by using their products, the virtual team's giving you all these tokens that are going to be valuable. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Boy, this could get spicy quick. It could be. So like it's like I always say, stay plugged in. Even if you're not playing, like stay plugged in. Because at any moment you should be playing and you should really know what you're doing at that point, not be, playing catch up. So pay attention. Nothing else on the board other than AIXBet and ATM that I'm interested in. But Will's got on his on his tier rankings. He's got some spots reserved in the A ranking, and it sounds like he's got some the scoop on some stuff that's coming up, and I believe it. I think there's some spicy launches coming here, man. So fingers crossed at least. By the way, Mufasa, good morning. It's good to see you, man. And Dead. We already said Jim to Dead, but he's such a good buddy. We do it again.
You want to bring Picasso up here? I bet he's played with this.
Yep,
I'd like to get some anybody in the community that has actually participated. I'd love to hear the experience.
Picasso, welcome. I think hang on. Had you up and now you're down. Request again if you're up. Okay. What's up, brother?
GM, everybody. Not bad, man. Just wanted to thank you guys for hosting the Putty Base thing. Shout out to the sponsorship. I'm still trying to learn about prediction markets, and I've been researching a few of unicorn stuff. I think I hit like a 1.5 or 2x on the meme just to try it out because I had a lot of points that expired, and I was just trying to understand the new mechanism.
So, out of curiosity, where did you go in? Like, what level did you go in on that one?
I think I was at 50 cent, and then I studied how the wallet was doing the buybacks because I noticed you mentioned that you're always early on, understanding narrative. So, big ups to you for that. So, I think Alazar hit like a 7 as well. And then I'm noticing that they are doing those buybacks randomly, but it is within 24 hours. So it's some alpha for you guys. And then sorry if I'm saying her name wrong, Miwatsu, sorry, one of the Virtuals members. She said that yesterday, and Virtuals did retweet that the 99% decay task is only for buys. That they had some issue and it was routing weird. And I saw that issue because I tested the first meme just to kind of see how everything was going because I was doing a lot of portfolio moving around based on, the new launchpad. So it did pretty decent. I think I, just sold it, honestly, just to kind of see how it is. And then the other ones, I got some few airdrops on it. I'm testing out how to use Butler as well. And I'm hoping, more teams start integrating Butler into their workflow so that way people can use it. It's good in the DMs. I think you can do a survey with Oops or PZ, and you'll get to spin a wheel. So I played around with it yesterday just to use it a bit, and I sent some USDC to it. Won like $2 of like 5 cents, which was pretty cool because I got to use the USDC to do more interactions with the Butler. So I suggest everybody at least tries that interaction because that 3% is a nice little add-on if you're trying to understand the gamification, like you said.
Dude, I don't like the Butler thing. It's not the Butler I don't like. I don't want to use him. No, I want to use him. I just don't, right? You know what I mean? Like
it's the same thing with me. And I was like, okay, let me give this a shot. It kept sending me insights. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Kept sending me DMs and insights of like tokens that I held and telling me unlocking mechanisms. It's still a bit not the best, but I noticed it was using some other smaller agents to fetch alpha with like a penny, which is not bad. So I'm guessing what the virtual teams are logging in is the interactions you are doing with Butler. And I did notice that it increased like my size of my airdrop a bit.
Oh, cool.
I'm getting about close to 400 tokens, and it's
not from that.
No, 400 tokens from the airdrops.
Yeah, but it's not from Butler use yet. That's going to be integrated over the next 3 weeks. These first airdrops are from your points. Yeah.
Points. Yes, you're correct. So I'm just trying to, just get a head start a bit and just play around with it. But I'm hoping AIXBet does well today. I'm doing some just some last minute research, and they are saying that they will do some unlocking at 10 million FDV, and they're just talking some stuff that sounds good from their updates.
Yeah, they're talking that because that's where those virtual team buys are. That next 5% unlocks at 10 mil.
Oh, okay, that's cool. But I noticed another AX bet on the virtuals thing. I don't know if they tried to launch before on prototype, but I'm not sure. I was just searching through on their like the thing, but they are committed this one. So I'm just hoping it's maybe the team tried to launch on prototype and maybe they didn't bond, because I think prototype has had some weird issues recently.
We get so many copycats too. There's just the scammers and whatever. Like it's just you can't win against them. You just got to beat them by.
Yeah, I think that was a different team as well.
Different team. Okay, no problem. Hey, I've vetted them the best way I can, so I wish everybody luck, man. You know, we can't know how this works until we play it. I think that's my 2 cents on everything, and I just hope they have a good lunch. I mean, the markets is a bit bullish on prediction markets as well, so let's see how that go. And you are correct. I think Polymarket might be launching a token just to tie that into it. I did some research on that yesterday. I don't know anything. But shout out to Arbors. They sent me some pretties, so I'm going to see what I want to do with that. I got like 200 pretties, so I'm going to try to understand how it works.
Man, if
prediction market is going to be a thing soon.
Speaking of Arbus, I was telling Hudah this morning, and guys, pay attention.
Real quick, just if you don't mind, just muting in between because we're getting some feedback.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I was telling him the Gloria airdrop came out. I got 103,000 Gloria from the Chirps participation. And Hudah, go to the front page of virtuals right now. On there, I was showing him, like, pay attention to the earn. Look at Gloria, 548% APY right now on the earn vault. So I literally just took that whole airdrop, which was like $250, and put it into the earn vault at that 550 APY. So just pay attention to these plays. Honestly, like he said, get experience doing all this stuff. Because it's not like you're making crazy money, but it's something. So it's worth paying attention to all these different products.
Dude, that's a nice fucking airdrop from Gloria.
Yeah, dude. That's like, people aren't, and honestly, like, I don't really farm Chirps. I talk about stuff I like. And so, I've talked about how much I love Gloria, and I only put a few tweets out, but they got good engagement from the Gloria team and all that. And it's an amazing product. So just getting rewarded for talking about stuff you like. I mean, obviously, huge Preddy fan. I was pretty high on that leaderboard. But like, anything that I like and they have a Chirps fan, you believe I'm talking about, because it's free money. It's great stuff.
All right. I think it's time, cats. I think it's time. There's how about this? Any final thoughts on anything happening on virtuals, platform itself, token wise, and Unicorn? Just kind of waiting and feeling it out, just like me, I think, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see how this first one goes. Go back to the platform just real quick. If I can have one little beef, just on that virtuals page, this committed thing, I don't like. So scroll down. So ATM, by all accounts, is like the most legit team that we have launching, and they don't have a committed badge, while the others do, just because they put a video up. So I just I don't think that, I don't see the committed badge as like real vetting. We did this with the verified check before too, and it's like there were scams verified. Like, it just, I feel like, because not enough people do research, and so if they see that, and they're gonna think, oh well, that ATM, it must be a scam because it doesn't have a committed badge. Well, auto AI, my God, like, we got to get it on that. You know what I'm saying? Just, I don't like it. If we're not doing real vetting to earn the badge, like, I just don't have it.
It's pointless, and the best way to vet them is doing it yourself, or
of course,
tuning into this show and Big Whale's show. Like, tune into the shows, because that's where you're learning the most about these projects. The projects are coming on the shows. Like, that's how you vet them. This doesn't, and it hurts prod. Like, ATM's a perfect example. If they don't put it up, all of a sudden, like, more casual virtuals traders are going to just skip right over them. Don't love it. It doesn't help. It only hurts. So I don't know. I'm with you.
Speaking of vetting, I think AI Expect is having a Twitter space in like an hour or two or hour or so. So I'm just gonna join that. And I did post it on I think it's your chat, just to let the community know in case they wanted to learn more about it. Because it's always good to just stay ahead.
Who is it again that's doing the spaces?
It's Pewcast. They're having it with AI Expect at 10
cool.
o'clock. I put it on the chat. And it seems like a lot of people are going to be there, almost over 200.
Good shit.
And it's right before their launch. Hey, man, like I said, guys, I've just been trying to get a head start, man. That's the best you can do in this kind of, you don't know what's coming next.
This is a newer show, right? The Pewcast?
Yeah, I don't know who they are, but they seem to have a decent following. And I think I expect they're going to be on there just to talk more about, their launch.
Yeah, cool. All
right,
I
literally just found it this morning. I was like, hey, let me just post it for the guys.
Yeah, I might tune in there. And also, I know High Fury's got one coming up at, actually, I think it's even right now. And again, I like the dude. All I can say is I like him. I just like him. I like people. That's all. Maybe that's a perfect segue to the spicy fucking topic. There's some drama in the virtuals ecosystem. I don't love drama usually, but what the hell? We'll get into it a little bit. I don't know. Is it Big Will here or Goon? One of them's on the show account, and listening in. You're of course welcome.
Goon, man. Yeah, Goon is my guy, man. He's good.
I love Goon. I love Goon. I remember messaging Goon like really on in the virtuals thing and be like, dude, you're my favorite KOL here. I don't know what it is, but just the way he tweets and like I like Goon. He's just fucking great. But drama. This is actually some drama I saw coming like a while back. I just did. Let's set it up here. We'll go as deep as I'll say this. We'll go as deep as you want, Cats. I'm going to do my typical, like I've got my take. And it's not.
I just love that the screen's showing my tweet right now because it's exactly how I felt. Like that gif, like, oh, just sit back and get my popcorn ready.
I'm just an enjoyer. I'm with you. That's kind of my thing. And of course, I'll give my thoughts because I always have them. But I do think it was kind of interesting here because I actually agree with both the dudes involved here. So we're talking about Big Will. You guys know Big Will. And it's Big Will versus Darren, or Darren versus Big Will, or nobody versus nobody, but some little controversy between the two. Darren had tweeted out something about that ATM project we were just talking about, said it looks bullish, gave some details on the project. And Big Will replied, is it paid promo? Just paid promotion? Question. Darren ended up, I guess, blocking Will. Where was Will's tweet? Hang on, let me get back to his tweet. But yeah, Darren blocked Will, called him a dickhead in DMs, and that's where the story starts and kind of ends. That's mostly the entire story here. But I thought it's interesting. And you have two of the biggest personalities in the virtuals community here now, like, not together. And I really do think we need to do this as much together as we can. Controversy is good too. It might get some eyeballs from the outside. Like make no mistake, there's a good side to this too. I just don't like negative energy too. So like that, I don't love. That said, like, I'll tell you this, I actually say it a lot. I say it behind the scenes here and I say it on the show. I do want people every single time you're doing something that's paid. I want to know. I do want to know because this goes back before virtuals and I started getting, exposure to deals, and I have Predict Base is my deal. That's it. And I tell you every segment. But before that, I've been in my own private groups and I have people who are very close to me telling me, hey, check this thing out. This thing's fucking awesome. I really like this thing, only to come and find out they were being paid by them. And I was interested in it only because that person was talking about it. I don't like when people don't disclose when they're being paid. So I think it's a really fair thing to ask if it's a paid promo. And I wish it were just automatic that if you're paid by them, you're putting it on the tweets, you're putting it somewhere that it's very clear that you are. So I don't know if Will knew that he was, or Will was just asking. Either way, I think it's a fair question. It should be asked more. I think people would be surprised how often you're seeing tweets out there that are being paid and you have no idea. So I like the question. I don't know. I don't think I can have an opinion on the response. Dickhead and blocking. Fair if there's more to the story. Like if there's more going on, then fair. And that's what it sounds like. Maybe behind the scenes, there's a lot more going on. Maybe DMs, maybe private groups. I have no idea. But that's the story we're hearing. It goes a little deeper. Like Evans, what I don't like is it sounds like it is, I don't want to say splitting the community, but you are seeing some of the bigger names actually taking sides here. So Evans, who I don't know, I don't think I've ever spoken to him. I just like the content he's put out so far, but he's on the Darren side. And so far, I like everything I've seen of Darren. I've hopped in his Pump Fun stream. I think he's a smart guy. I think he makes good calls, but I don't know personality, character. I have no idea. All I can trust is what Evans is saying, and he doesn't do paid promos, and when he puts something out, it's from the heart. So that's the story here. I wish everybody would just get along. I don't know. Any thoughts, Cats?
I mean, to me, I was like, what a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, you could have just like given that, like, so the tweet from Darren, I just feel like could have been a response to the question of a paid promotion. It just felt like but at the same time, like I commented, this didn't start here. This goes back to the backroom stuff, which is kind of why, like, it's not that I'm like anti-backroom. Projects, it's great to have projects that people like and enjoy and all that. But literally having a backroom where, like, a secretive place and all this stuff, it can create division because it excludes people and all this stuff. So the backroom drama is, I feel like, where all this started. And again, you see, like, Evans had a backroom deal, right? I mean, and again, they benefited from that. And so the people who really like that side are kind of on one side, and everybody who doesn't like that side is kind of on the other. I don't like any of it because I'm just like, can't we all just get along? I'm kind of the same. Like, but I just feel like, I think that pent up energy kind of caused the knee jerk reaction, because the simple asking if it was a paid promotion, like you said, that's a legitimate question. Like, everybody should ask, and we, be honest about it. But, like, don't just like go straight to the DMs with name calling and blocking people. That's a bit much.
What's the backroom thing? Because I never gotten backroom, like, just aware of it because it's important, but I never was in there. I've never bought a key. I've never looked at what's happening there, other than there's deals being made. But, like, where does that, like, stem from?
No, I'm just saying, like, okay, some people like backroom, some people don't. And it's fine. Like, whatever you're into, like, maybe some people aren't into betting on prediction markets like I am. Like, that's what I've really been enjoying lately. Everybody enjoys different stuff. But there's just there was a big divide caused because, again, creating little private niches, little private communities that people don't have access to, some people like that, some people don't. And that's what that is. Like, you're literally like having to pay for access to friends, essentially, is what a viewpoint of it is. But at the same time, like, all that happens anyway. There are all kinds of, Telegram groups and, private chats, and all this stuff happens anyway. Maybe it feels a certain way if you're having to pay for that access. So again, everybody has varying opinions, and everybody has the right to their opinion. But I just think that's where the divide in the community kind of started on all this. So I don't think it was just a simple, like, the question of the paid promotion. I think it was just kind of like bubbling up from other stuff, and it was kind of an overreaction.
Yeah. Now, the other thing too, and I'll mention it here because I've said it before, right? There is something, not Goon, Darren had mentioned, like, just negativity from Will. Again, I've said it on the show that sometimes Will does go there, like when specific projects kind of like leans into the negative on certain ones. It comes from a good place. This I know, right? And I've said I think he's got some of these takes, like, wrong on certain projects and why he's negative about them or fuddy with them. Comes from a good place where Will's got this position now where he tries to, like, educate his audience. It comes from trying to protect people, trying to help people make smart decisions. But it's, yeah, I think some of those, like with Ring Fence, you guys know how I felt about Ring Fence. I just didn't think it was the best take. Like, I actually think at that time I felt it was a little unfair to the Ring Fence guys. They made up. Everything's cool there, which is great. Will's very reasonable and his takes are very, very good. But he's grown into this big figure on virtuals. And so it's one of those silly things that, the whole with great power comes great responsibility. It's kind of a corny fucking thing, but there's some truth to it. So I felt at times some of Will's takes were, again, maybe kind of negative, maybe overly. It's hard to say exactly, but I'm like, I always said he should probably err on the indifferent side. I don't know. I just know some teams got that side of it, the negative side, when I didn't think they deserved it. I thought they were, like, actually a quality project, quality team, and deserving of, like, benefit of the doubt because they're builders. Like I always said, save that energy for the real scumbags, the real scammers, the real bad actors, because there's a lot of them in this space. So I don't know if that's what Darren was also, like, leaning into a bit too, but I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. Hopefully it just dies off, and I think they're both great. Actually, no Will way more than Darren. Darren just, like, very surface level, never chatted with him, only from his tweets. Will I've chatted with. I think Will's fucking awesome. Again, I like his takes. I think he's a good guy. He's great for the space, all that. So let's just hope this passes kind of quickly here. We'll see. I don't think it'll have any big effects, though.
Just to say something, Darren is a really stand-up guy. I'm subscribed to his thing. He's the first person I've ever subscribed to on Twitter. And just coming from him being the creator of the word virgin, I just got to give him his flowers as well. Will has blocked me. He's not my personal favorite. And just to circle in with Cats, everybody's different. And I hope everybody can get along. That's just my 2 cents on it, because this is like Virtual Season 3 technically, and everybody can win. There's so many opportunities here, man. That's how I look at it. You know, we're all different, man. That's just my 2 cents, man.
And the reality is, there's like not that many of us in the like core virtuals community, so we all need to get along and rise all. The rising tide rises all ships, whatever it is. Let's all lift up together.
So then if we go by that too, and you're right, like this is a really important time in the virtuals, like, I don't know, roadmap, whatever you want to call it, the virtual story. And if we're trying to attract new eyeballs and there's beefing in the community, then it's not our best look. It's not, maybe the best thing to win people over. That said, if we're just going by this isolated incident, the tweets that are out there, I thought Will's question was totally fair. Totally fair. Again, we'll see. I hope it's a big old nothing burger. I think it's a big old nothing burger. So it's kind of fun to have some spice out there too. I'll just say it. It just is.
Yeah. It's fun drama. It's like middle school. But let's all in the end make up and build together.
Quick little, we're going to move on to like some NFTs and token strategy stuff. Unless anybody else has anything else virtuals related. Cats, you good on the virtual side?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Then a quick prediction market update. Kalshi, this is just announced this morning. Kalshi raises $300 million at a $5 billion valuation. So,
that's peanuts compared to Polymarket's $2 billion. Come on.
It's true. But just things are escalating. You're only going to see more stupid money thrown at this stuff. And rightfully so, dude. Everybody is going to spend on prediction markets at some point. Dude, and it's funny because like the more you integrate it into like websites, which I think Myriad just did. I think there's something with Myriad integrating throughout wherever. It's just going to reach normies more and more. Like, when are we going to see like CNN with prediction markets baked in, and you see it on the news shows, and you'll see it on like your favorite website on any topic, gamer sites, like anything.
Well, the reason it's so disruptive, though, is exactly what you talked about with the Nobel Prize. You're going to see news on prediction markets before it makes the news. Like, that's happening. It happened during elections. Like, any major world event, like, news sources should be going to prediction markets. I mean, seriously, like that's why it's so disruptive to many industries. I'm telling you, like the sports betting in particular, I know like it's something I really have a lot of fun with, and I love doing, especially with all the AI that's helping do all this now. But like DraftKings and FanDuel and all these, like they're not happy about any of this. Like they're making so much money off of their rake on people, and prediction markets take a much smaller percent, and it's taxed differently, and like this is not good for them. So you better believe that fight's coming.
I heard a dumb take on that. I think it's dumb. And it was in like a really mainstream article about like stock prices taking a hit because of Polymarket, because of Kalshi, all this stuff. So the take was, okay, stock prices hit right now, not going to be, it's a nothing burger long-term, won't matter. These betting platforms, sports betting platforms will do fine because people value, like, I think he was saying the convenience or ease of use more than they care about the fees. There's something true about that, but that's so fucking retarded to think that prediction markets are not easy already and aren't just going to get easier, and they're going to be, again, you don't have to go to the DraftKings website. It's on the site you're already on, and you're going to click a button because your wallet's already connected, or you've already funded that site. Something.
I mean, it's already happening with Robinhood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, people don't understand it. That's Kalshi and Dead. I'm so disappointed. Dead's comment just says, "I just need an AI agent to do all the predictions and betting for me."
You're basically there.
Well, I mean, I literally am just talking about Billy Betts does this for me. Like, I literally have an auto bet strategy. I was betting on Southern Miss and Tulane last night, who I didn't even know until I got the notification, and they both won. Like, come on, this already exists. Let's go.
It's good shit.
Then
It's
hit me
just-
up in the DMs. I'll send you a referral link.
There you go. It's just gonna get easier and better, and I can't freaking wait. All right, onto the NFT market. We'll just kind of touch like some, I don't know, sales volume. Well, I mean, I'm using this just to really go get over to the strategy tokens, which you should be paying attention to. If you liked winning on the virtuals tokens and still winning on them, you should be watching those NFT strategy tokens. They are really fucking spicy. And even after a big old pullback this week, I'm looking at that as a huge opportunity. Like, I feel this one. It's the spidey senses and all that shit. I wouldn't be ignoring this. Anyway, NFT market. 21.7 mil in cross-chain sales yesterday. Let's see though. Sellers are down, buyers are down, transactions down. We're down like across the board. All I care about is trade profits, and we're 400,000 in the negative. I'm always watching for that to flip. Hasn't happened. And I look for these sustained periods where we're up in the 7 figures of profits, because the good times are back then. And if we get a lot of that, this is the one very specific thing I'm waiting for. You get those profits coming in, you start seeing the new mints come, because people want to recreate the wins, and new mints is one of the best ways to recreate those wins. Your top collections in the past 24 hours. Let's skip that number one. Let's say Good Vibes are number one, just because I'm biased. Good Vibes followed by CryptoPunks. DX Terminal still getting farmed like crazy. Great to see. Bored Apes, D-Market, Moonbirds, Pudgy Penguins, Little Pudgies. And then DKT, NFT. I just kind of skipped around and picked some stuff, but there we go. Node Monk's up there too. Looking good. Oh shit, hang on. Let me get my bookmarks real quick, because we got a couple other quick headlines in NFTs that matter a lot. I do want to say the Quine. I still don't know if I say it right, but the Larva Labs auction on Art Blocks, the final Art Blocks curated collection, it's still live right now. You have, I think, 2 hours to go, about 2.5 hours to go to bid. I think the lowest winning bid right now is like 1.5 ETH, which is lower than I thought it would settle at. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it'll go up from here. I think it'll settle around what we were thinking, which is like 2.5 ETH. It's a safe bet, but that's going to be one of those special collections. Like 5-10 years from now, people will be talking about that. Like where it ranks, like historical NFTs, no idea, but people will be talking about that collection. It's a Larva Labs, not a dish. I'm being retarded. Whatever. It's a Larva Labs collection. It matters a lot. We had some Doodle news yesterday. We had some Beeple news. So let's throw up the Beeple. We talked about this last week. We were looking forward to this auction. Auction complete. Oh, Raoul Pal bought it. Okay, cool. Beeple's Real Art. It's one of his everydays, sold for $200,000. I don't know why I thought it would go for more than that. I don't know why. I did though. But a $200,000 Beeple sale is great. And then Doodles partnering with Universal Pictures, Universal Studio, whatever. Universal. This is actually really cool. Universal Horror. Okay, so they're taking all these classic like horror characters and they're doodling them. And it's pretty fucking cool. Doodles just keeps doing this like massive brand partnership thing. McDonald's, I think they had like Arizona iced tea at some point. Crocs. Recently the Kellogg's box or Fruit Loops box, which was, it's pretty fucking cool. Oh, they had Adidas and G-Shock there too. Anyway, so this one feels really fucking big. I don't know where we're going to see this, right? I don't know where we're going to see, if there's going to be like a cartoon, like an animation that they do through Doodle Studio. I have no idea. Will we see it in like would we see that in theme parks maybe? I don't know if it's like the Universal Parks too. I don't know, but it's a massive freaking partnership. Just would like some more details. Do you see that, Cass? You got any thoughts about it?
I mean, I don't know. I'm so far removed from Doodles, and like, here's the thing: they've had these massive partnerships before. The McDonald's one, they were McDonald's cups, but what did it do for the project?
I see that a lot. Like it doesn't help holders. Did it move the needle? Like, what's the point? There's something fair to that, and it's also like it's a mindshare games, and that's what Pudgy Penguins are doing. It's like have so many products, you're always in mindshare, you're getting attention through memes and whatever, and like I always say, like a small percentage come over to the product, buy the NFTs, buy the token, and it's ultimately that game. I think they're playing this weird middle ground where they don't do it frequently enough like Pudgy Penguins do, but they're massive. But I don't know if that strategy works. It feels like Pudgy Penguins' method of just like always something happening works more. But
like, so with Pudgy though, they have the QR code that leads you into the ecosystem. How is this leading you into the ecosystem? I guess that's my question.
Oh, that's a good point. It doesn't. It doesn't. They say because you come back to the Doodle Studio and you get like like a digital wearable or something. But I got the coffee cup. I don't remember a QR code, to your point. I don't remember being directed anywhere back. So either there's a reason they're not doing it. Well, yeah, there's a reason they're not doing it, or they fucking forgot. And it's just one of those things like, we should fix that on the next drop. But I don't know. It's a great point, man. You're not directing people back to buy the shit.
You know, with Pudgy, they have the GIFs that, I mean, I'm talking any normie knows a Pudgy Penguin GIF at this point, and they have the game and, you know, stuff that Web 2 users are using, and it brings people into the ecosystem. So, like, that makes more sense to me. Whereas, I mean, and this is great IP. Like, the Doodles IP is fantastic. And this is a big partnership, but I just don't see it where. And then here's the thing, like, so Pudgy Penguins, and again, I'm not even a holder. I miss my Pudgy, but like,
you won a Pudgy, didn't you?
Yeah, let's not talk about it. Let's not bring up. No, let's not. Scars. Selling my Pudgy at 4 ETH. Anyway,
oof.
So, but you know, like, they have IP deals through their platforms that like holders can get and do all this stuff with. Where, like, I don't know how any of that's integrated in Doodles. I just feel like there's huge potential. I just don't know that the execution's there. Does that make sense?
It does. Well, so maybe the silver lining is, okay, if they haven't done those perfectly, again, it's just adjusting going forward. Now they've got this like awesome history of making those big partnerships, so it should be easy to get the next one, and it's like the next one just start doing it from there forward. So maybe that just means it's a good time to be betting on them if they can fix that going forward. But yeah, spot on for what it's done for now. For now, coolest thing in NFTs, I think by a huge margin, is those strategy tokens. So just what we're weeks back, the Punk strategy token launches. You guys are pretty damn familiar, I'm sure, so we don't have to get into exactly the what and how, but you know, big old pullback. Was that just this week where somebody like dumped 2.7 mil all in one clip?
Yeah, I think that was at the beginning of the week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, yeah. So Punk strategy goes from 230, 250, I can't remember, really high, to down like 70 mil market cap. Decent recovery. But we had launches all week this week. We had the Goblin Town strategy, Gob strategy launch. We had Pain strategy launch, Check strategy, and then finally the Vibe strategy token. Gob wasn't great. Although, with that said, you had like a 7 or 8x in that token at its peak. So it actually did really well out of the gate. But the rest of them, I'll say, actually, shockingly, dude, I think the Pain strategy one was the worst of the bunch as far as performance. I think Awful Eye saying he did well on Pain strategy. That's the cool thing, is all of them have a win for you in them if you time it right. And I don't think the timing is super hard, but I'm surprised to see Pain strategy the lowest. I'd pick that one to be one of the best ones. I think a lot of people did, but $2 million market cap. It's only above the ones that I just don't think are awesome anyways. Gob strategy, Toad strategy, Dick strategy are the bottom three. Pain strategy is just right above them. It's below Meeb strategy. Kind of surprised. What's cool is most of the projects are kind of innovating or iterating with each launch. So the Goblin Town guys, you know, they buy the NFTs with the fees that they earn, and they don't just relist them and sell them, they burn them, which actually might hurt them because you're not putting the buy pressure back on the token, right, from selling the NFTs. So that might not have been a good idea. Checks made their little innovation by, I'm trying to think, staggering how it buys back the NFTs. Instead of just like a sweep all at once, it can only spend 0.01 ETH higher each block. So if somebody sweeps the floor and pushes it way up, it's going to take a minute. It might take a little time for the, you know, strategy treasury to be able to buy the NFT. So I thought that was interesting too. But Good Vibes, this was just yesterday, I think dominated the strategy meta. I don't know. The Good Vibes team has officially adopted the Vibe strategy token as their official token, which is crazy. And it was one of those, it was the Spidey sense thing. I'm like, I think they're going to do that. One, because I just get the kind of things they would do. It's not from any kind of insider knowledge or anything. It's just like, I get how they work. They usually do what's the coolest thing that makes the most sense. And for me, it felt like that. It made sense that tokens or projects launch their core token, their platform token this way. Like, just to do that as your first launch. And I'm like, they saw the opportunity. They did it, wasn't surprised, maybe even kind of called it. And so all of a sudden you see that token is now the number two token by market cap.
You definitely called it. Don't sell yourself short.
It's just it just made sense. I'm like, would be cool if, and also it feels like something they would do. So just kind of put those two together. So now the next call here is they're going deeper with it. They've already said they're going deeper, and they're going to announce something today. The Vibe Wheel, whatever that means. These guys still get royalties on the NFT sales because they're newer, right? So it's baked in. They get 5%, whatever the number is. I don't know. It's probably not 5. Maybe it is. So those guys are earning royalties on the NFT sales. Maybe they're going to take a percentage of the royalties and funnel them right back to the token, which then funnels them right back fees to go buy back more NFT. Like, I don't know, but it's going to be interesting. Now, I saw a take out there that I really fucking love. I hope I bookmarked it. Let me double check. Yeah, actually, here we go. This is coming from a guy who's like, deep in the community, and it's got his big old bags and put out something. Next thing is Good Vibes will buy the token to airdrop it to GVC holders, I guess. He said that yesterday, like right at launch. They did buy the token, by the way. They bought like $300,000 worth of token, and they're going to be buying more. I kind of think they might do that. I actually might lean that way. I think they might airdrop GVC holders, the NFT holders, some of that token, especially when I see two guys from the team like reply to that tweet with just like a little eyeballs, little face. Like, I'm like, is that a little signal they're going to do that? I mean, like, maybe.
Explain that comment to me. I don't know enough about the strategy tokens. Why are they non-transferable?
I don't know if that's totally true. I think what he's reading into, where you can't trade them on, you can't make your own pairs now, like you could with a strategy. Like, that's the thing. I would assume I can transfer you some tokens. That'd
right.
be really
Like,
weird if I can.
Yeah, I would imagine I could send it to any wallet I want.
Yeah.
That doesn't make, okay.
Yeah, I looked at that. I'm just like, I'm not so sure, but I might be wrong, right? Like, so maybe there is something where you can't even transfer them. That would be weird. But soulbound fungible tokens, I don't know. It would be weird. We'll see. Anyway, I just read into it with these two guys. I'm like, shit, I think they might actually do that. I think if you're a GVC holder, you might get a token stimmy here. So keep my eyes on it. And the announcements are coming today. But again, tokens cooking. I played it yesterday, man. DK, I know you played it too, right? I think you probably played it. DK, we played it the exact same, man. We got in just about at the same spot. I also went in at, I think I got in at 94, 95, 94. We're like, so if you put in $100 and you get that 95% tax, you're only getting $5 worth of token. But I was just trying to figure it out. I'm like, it's still, you're up so much if it hits the mark. I'm starting with this, guys. What's my target market cap? Where do I realistically think it can go? And I saw this one very easily getting to like 5 mil. I thought it would be right on par with Pudgy and Ape, and that's my target. I'm like, if I buy right off the bat, and I just crunched the numbers. I only put in 0.05 ETH, like very little. I wish I had more. I didn't put much in it. And it's a huge fucking regret already. But I'm like, where am I going to 2x that? Right? Where am I going to break even? Where am I going to 2x? And you just crunch the numbers and you can see, well, if you go in even at that 95%, you can 2x that pretty early on. I want to say like a 5 mil market cap at my target. Right? At that target 5 mil market cap, I'm basically a 2X's, which is how it played out. I also, like, after the fact, went back and looked at the chart and tried to figure out, was there a better time to get in where you didn't have to sit and calculate on the spot and maybe the market cap is getting out of reach at that point? This one would have been really tricky because at the point where you're like taxes 50%, you're already at, I don't know, like a 4 mil market cap. Some are these are really ballpark figures, but at the point where taxes were already much lower, it was already so much higher that to get that 2x, you now have to be at like 6 mil, 7 mil, 8 mil, right? So there's not a perfect way to play them, but so far, and I did this with Pain Strategy too, I'm going in very early at the basically 95% tax and coming up with the 2-3x's on them, and GVC will be much more, I think. Cats, you did not play, right?
No, I've still been sidelined on them. I've been watching, but this is essentially similar to what we're doing with Unicorn. So, I mean, the strategy side plays out. I think on the Virtuals website, though, it actually gives you breakdowns when you're doing those buys of the actual projections.
It does, and it's really cool. Like, that's really, really helpful. Yeah, they literally have like a live ticker, like a timer there. I think it's showing some like FDV, like projections or whatever. It's really, really cool. That would be nice to have here, actually. Otherwise, I'm just doing rough math in my head. And, like beforehand, I plan this out. I use ChatGPT and I voice chat with it. I give it these scenarios, and I should be doing that live too. Just like give my ChatGPT's name Butternugs. So I give Butternugs like the current FDV that it's at, or current market cap, I give her the current tax, and I can tell her calculate every minute it's going to drop one, and I'll just give her live stats. I'm like, okay, it's at this market cap right now. So, what market cap does it need to hit for me to be a 2x or 3x? And just on the spot, you get that feedback on the spot. And it's like it's your crypto companion, it's your crypto kind of your quant. Anyway, looking really good. My predictions for Vibester, it's their official token. You see, you see NFT projects who their official tokens, what? 25 mil, 50 mil, 100 mil. Like, that's not unusual, right? That's what we see dude at 100 mil. We see, I don't know what anime's at now. Anybody know anime coin these days? What that's hanging around? Just to show NFT projects, NFT tokens, man, they're usually pretty spicy. Also on OpenSea, like just to show how official this is, OpenSea lists Vibester on the Good Vibes page, right? It's their official token now. So again, just adds that legitimacy to it. I have trouble seeing this not at 15 to 20 mil within the short term. And if it goes higher, won't be shocked at all. Won't be shocked. But this probably lives 15 to 20 mil here today, tomorrow, within a week. Like, again, short term. And then the upside from there, again, dude's different, but dude at 100 mil, you do at some point have that kind of potential with Vibester. They still have announcements coming. They still have this whole like media studio. They're like very, very experienced. These guys did marketing for like Meta, and Google and like MasterCard, like big stuff. They're very experienced, very well connected. Close partnership with Opens. They got it all. So I'm just got to say, I still think here at an all-time high, 10 mil, 10.5 mil market cap, I actually think this is probably a decent call right here. You'll get guys taking profits, I'm sure, soon. A lot of guys are up big, but a lot of guys really do sense what this is going to be. And you probably got some holders. DK, yeah, also seeing 100 mil potential. I'm there. I think this will be, I can see it playing out, especially if we get to that, hypey mania part of the cycle. Before long, it would belong there at some point. So it's a good token. Coming up next here, by the way, like next strategy tokens, we don't know. They're probably going to slow down the pace of strategy tokens, which is actually really good for Vibester. You're not going to have this liquidity just being sucked out of things and rotated to the next coin. They're slowing down the launches. They're not going to curate them per se, but they did say there's a middle ground between like curating them and also having the platform open so anybody can launch. And so you may have different options that are available for, curated launches. At the same time, anybody could launch one that I don't know. Maybe you can't do any of the custom contract stuff. Maybe you can only launch if you're going to make it your official token. I don't know. But just to say the pace is going to slow down probably puts more, I don't know, maybe buy pressure on these. It's going to put more attention on the existing ones. So that I'm pretty sure about. Katz, you played some of these, I think, right?
No, unfortunately not. I've been watching from afar, but I just don't have the ETH to play. So.
No, I feel you. It's why I only put in 0.05. Similar thing, right? Should have probably sold a little more soul and whatever. But yeah, trying to be safe-ish, and maybe now's not the time to be safe. I don't know. Punk strategy is one of the best opportunities out there. Period. If you want to make a bet on the broader token strategy, platform, meta, whatever, you bet Punk strategy. That one still makes the most sense out of all of them. Like by a mile. Everything's still going to feed back to the Punk strategy token. Forget the name because you just think CryptoPunks. It's the platform token. All the upcoming auctions feed into the Punk strategy token. 1% of all the fees on all these tokens being traded also feeds right back into the Punk strategy token. It's ridiculous. I still think you might be looking at $1 billion token right there. Platform token, not NFT token. Just look at it that way. It's different. Awful Eye Dude, yes. Yep. Painster. Oh, Painster. Yeah. I actually think, okay, if we're going like risk reward right now, I think Painster might be top of that list. Might be the very top of that list. 2 mil market cap. NFT supply that just kind of decreases. Exposure I don't know if people are looking at these as fractional ownership, but people might look at it kind of like exposure to X copy in a way. I don't know. I think there's some decent upside on Painster. And I don't think there's much more downside. I mean, the downside is what? Maybe 1.5 mil or so. There's not as much downside. I think you got, I don't know, a few X's out of that potentially.
Yeah, so. I mean, we talked about it in some different spaces and stuff too. I feel like that was more of a long-term play from the get-go, just because it's not art season right now, but there will be an art season. And with it being, I mean, there's the Squiggles one too, but like it'll make a rise during art season when X copies front and center again.
Yeah. Now Awful Eye, because Awful Eye's an artist and he's a little more connected than most in that space, probably a lot more, saying if Xcopy adopts this as his token, it's going to go nuts, which, dude, absolutely. Are there like people like really thinking he would? Because I wouldn't think he would. I would just assume he would never adopt this as like his official token. He's got his tokens and they're Max Payne, right? They're any of his burnable stuff, which I guess is just Max Payne. Yeah, well, maybe he could. Maybe he looks at it as an extension of Max Payne, just like GVC is doing. I could see it. Yeah, I'm curious if you got any inside info. Awful eye. I guess I could see it. I say slim chances, but I guess, yeah, wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me. Cats, anything else going on anywhere that you're looking at? NFT side, fungible token, just anything?
Man, I spend a lot of time on prediction markets right now. That's where a lot of my stuff is, and I spend a lot of time on Billy, really trying to learn the sports betting side of prediction markets. And man, dialing in that automatic bet strategy has been a revelation for me. But no, I think we touched everything. The only other thing I'd written down, just because we were talking about the Gloria earn, I looked at the WAC native sites staking. My APY on there is 250%. There's 49 wallets that are participating.
Oh wow, dude.
So it is and I keep promising Rabbit King that I won't talk about it, but it's just such an obvious play. I mean, if you're bullish on that token long term, like stake it on that site, you get crazy return. So
that's nuts, dude. I'm shocked it's so few.
Yeah, I mean, there's like I think it's like 10,000 staked on the site. So it's not worth staking on virtual site. It's worth staking on their native site. But anyway.
Yep. Dude, interesting. Hang on. I got a little prompt on my phone and I don't want it to kill the spaces, but it looks like it will if I push the button. I'm not gonna touch shit. We're wrapping up in a minute anyways.
Sorry, one thing. I did get my Pretty airdrop from Arbis.
Oh shit, how'd you do?
I got 41,000 Pretty. Says that's $520.
Hell yeah, dude. Wow.
So again, people, Chirps is worth doing if you're gonna be putting out content. It's worth participating.
Damn. Like when you said Glory, I was shocked by that. I'm pretty surprised hearing it so much, but awesome. Get on that shit, guys. Wow. So
this week I've essentially made $1,000 from Chirps.
That's fucking nuts.
Cool.
Damn. Yeah, you can't beat it. You can't. That's all GG's, man. Here. So Awful I was saying Xcopy was supportive of this thing. He is. Here's his tweet. Enjoying the permissionless builds, Painster creators fee. Will go to charity via Grifter Fund. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so Max Payne royalties are 0%. I guess I knew that. I don't know. But anyway, so now he's getting royalties in a way from Painster and he's donating it. So he's got that little incentive to support it. Yeah, I like it. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Man, this is a lot going on, and it's only going to get, I think, just going to get crazier. I still think market heading into that special time. Fingers crossed. I think we all hope.
Absolutely. I love that we get to talk about everything too. This is fun. There's so much going on in Web3 in general. So
everything, dude. This is not the time to be missing shit, right? All right, before we go, the final shills, guys, go subscribe to CryptoSlam over on YouTube. Follow our boy Cats Fanatic. Come on, he's fucking awesome. Cats Fanatic OG, 0G. Follow him on X. You can follow me at Hudah_idiot. And then, dude, again, make sure you're following SlamAI_XYZ. There's just, the big shit's coming in next week. It starts, and pay attention, and some rebranding and some project launches and partners. There's just a lot of shit coming. So follow it all. Guys, have a great weekend. I'll be live this weekend too, so you can follow my personal stuff. But have a great one. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.